Well, yesterday we promised to bring you the other side of the Kaduna Governorship Tribunal judgment, which dismissed the PDP's petition against Governor Obasani's election for lacking in merit on the ground that the pre-hearing notice was filed out of time and therefore deemed to be abandoned by the petitioners. But then the other part of that judgment, which has gotten a lot of people talking, a big debate really, the tribunal noted that if the petition had not been dismissed for lacking in merit, then he would have ordered for a supplementary election in 22 polling units within 90 days. And it was a split decision 2-1. Well, tonight we speak with the petitioner himself. We have joining us virtually from Kaduna State, Honorable Isa Ashiru, who is a PDP governorship candidate for Kaduna State. Well, thank you for joining us on Politics Today, Honorable.
Good evening, Kayode. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Man, there's been a lot of debate back and forth, different narratives. So let's try to simplify it tonight. What are you preparing for now? Are you preparing for an appeal of yesterday's judgment or a supplementary election?
Well, thank you very much. Let me correct what you reported yesterday. The program you had with the governor of the state that said his election was upheld. It is not true. The truth of the matter is that the election was annulled. And they directed INEC, the tribunal directed INEC to conduct election, like you have correctly said it now, within 90 days. Unfortunately, he reported that his election was upheld. We'll see between the next 2 or 3 weeks allowed whether he will go on appeal or not. Whosoever said his election was upheld, I don't think there is any need for him to go for appeal. But for sure, I want to assure you that we are going on appeal. I have met with my team, the legal team, and we have taken that decision in consultation with my party and senior stakeholders.
Let's break this down. What are you appealing? Are you appealing what you describe as your victory, or what exactly?
Well, the victory, honestly, what we expected was that the tribunal will outrightly give us judgment based on available facts that we tendered. The truth of the matter is that we won that election hands down. But the forces that did what they did to rob us of the victory. But we are grateful to God Almighty. Yesterday, the court confirmed that Obasani was not the rightful owner of that seat. That's why they directed INEC to withdraw his certificate and conduct a run so that the true elected governor will be announced after the rerun election. But for sure, with what we have seen and the documents available to us, we will definitely appeal for the right thing to be done. That is declaring Right Honorable Isa Mohammed Ashiru the duly elected governor of the state by the special grace of God.
Right. So I want us to understand this properly, which is why we have you on the show to provide more clarity. And I imagine that your lawyers have also given you advice. So let's break this down. First, did the courts strike out your petition for lacking in merit on the ground that the pre-hearing notice was filed out of time?
Well, that is in the pre-hearing notice. They applied that we have not filed on time. It is not true. We have not filed our petition out of time. That has been confirmed yesterday by the tribunal, that we filed on time. The issue of remitter that came late, it's not our fault. That one has been confirmed by the tribunal. The other issue is that of the issue of this, I think, presentation of timing in terms of the commencement of the pre-hearing. Unfortunately for them, there was a judgment of the Supreme Court that said where you allow the commencement of the proceeding to start, especially one that has started for 3 days, then you bring up another matter. The court says you have slept over your appeal. And that is the position of the law. As far as I'm concerned, the Supreme Court judgment has taken that decision and is binding. Last August on the 23rd, another judgment was passed in the Court of Appeal by Justice Ashiru on the same matter. So they are just trying to knock off our case on technicalities. I want to assure you that going to a Court of Appeal will get this sorted out. And by the special grace of God, once this one is sorted out and the right thing is done on the document we presented, we'll get ourselves announced as the duly elected governor of Kaduna State. Well, Honorable Ashiru, the essence of this conversation really is to clear things out. I understand that sometimes judgments can be, well, to a large extent confusing until the lawyers, of course, speak to it and they break it down. And what lawyers have said is that, yes, there is a technicality which you admit, but overall, the court's judgment, moving on from here, does not say explicitly that a supplementary election should be conducted. It's a case of if it were not struck out on the basis which you talked about, then the court would have ordered a supplementary election. So the court did not explicitly order a supplementary election. Is that correct? They did. They did, Coyote. The truth of the matter is, why are you appealing then? It's a three-man panel that sat on that tribunal, and it was 2 against 1. 2 justices of the court of the tribunal directed that supplementary election be conducted, so that the rightful candidate will be announced after the supplementary election. It is only one of them that was in their favor. So for anybody to come and say anything different is just saying his mind. Mark you, the details of the judgment will be out by tomorrow, God willing. And will avail, it is a public document. Anybody that wants it can get it and get this thrashed out. It was just a real politicking that took place yesterday, media hype that went saying a different thing from what the judgment was said. I'll read a portion of your statement, which you put out after that judgment. It's the second to the last paragraph, where you said, "I want to again thank the people of the state while urging them all to remain law-abiding while we appeal or pursue the appeal process." Those were your words. So why are you appealing a judgment which you say favors you? Because it's not satisfactory to what the judgment that was passed was not what the generality of the people of Kaduna State wanted to hear. So there were apprehensions, so we had to go around and calm them to make sure that peace reigned. We are peace-loving people. We are indigents of the state. We have to make sure that the state is in peace. Kaduna, as you are aware, is a volatile state. We don't want anything that will disrupt the current peace in the state. So urging our people to remain calm is something that every right-thinking person, every leader will encourage. That is why I made that statement. So what did the people of Kaduna State want then? What pronouncement did they want from yesterday's judgment that didn't come out? The true reflection of what they voted, that is, they voted PDP as the into office, but the powers that be did what they did to snatch our mandate. So all they want is for the judiciary to do justice to our case in making sure that the rightful owner is handed over a certificate of return to be sworn in as the executive governor of Kaduna State. So you agree then that the tribunal did not give a green light on the supplementary election, which is why you're proceeding to appeal to get that? No, that was not what I said. I am confirming to you that the two justices directed INEC out of the three to conduct rerun election in 4 local government areas so that the rightful candidate will be sworn in after the election. But for sure, they have directed that INEC should conduct rerun in 4 local government areas of our state.
So are you then appealing that's what I'm trying to get, Honorable, and help me out, help Nigerians out here so we can leave this conversation with clarity. So are you then appealing that particular judgment, which you say is what the court gave, that a supplementary election should be conducted? I don't know. I've never seen a case where someone who the judgment favors then goes on to appeal that judgment.
The issue is I have not gotten what I want. I have not gotten what our people want. Since we have opportunity to go on appeal, there is nothing wrong in going for appeal. We have asked for declaration as the rightful candidate that scored the highest number of votes in the February election. That was not what we got. There is something wrong in appealing to get what we want, since we have that opportunity.
So essentially, you don't even want a supplementary election. You want to be declared winner.
Definitely. That's why I'm going on appeal. They have the right to decide on what they think is right as far as the tribunal is concerned. And I cannot challenge it because I'm a law-abiding citizen.
You also confirmed to me that on the part of the timing some part of the petition, perhaps the pre-conference hearing, that the court actually held onto that in striking out the case. Court said that, well, regarding that, it wasn't filed according to time. You confirmed that to me earlier.
When you say the court, you mean the tribunal. It is the tribunal, yes. It is one out of it is not the whole of the judges that passed that I want to assure you that what they did, we are not satisfied with their judgment. That's why we are going on appeal. And like I told you, since we have that olive branch, we will definitely go for appeal to make sure that the right thing is done for the benefit of our people.
Right, so let's further simplify.
It's not about action. The issue is about the good people of Kaduna State. Let me make that categorical statement.
All right, so let's break this down further because we try to simplify issues so everybody can be carried along. I know you've gotten advice from your lawyers. You've been a lawmaker yourself, so this is nothing strange to you, I imagine. So tell us your perspective from the position of the judgment yesterday. Who do you think is the governor of Kaduna today, according to the law?
For me, we don't have that seat is vacant, taking into consideration the fact that the court has directed for the withdrawal of the certificate of the governor.
Well, as a lawmaker yourself, Honorable, I wonder...
Unless, of course, if you're going on appeal.
Well, you said you were going on appeal, but you know that the law abhors a vacuum. So there should be nothing like a vacuum in that case. So on what basis would you then say that there is no governor in Kaduna State? Because the judgment did not say that he is not governor, did it?
Well, the truth of the matter, he has been sworn in as governor. The tribunal has directed that his certificate be withdrawn.
Well, looks like the bandwidth is a bit challenging on this one. But the point is to get to the heart of this matter. So the people of Kaduna State are clear on what exactly this is. Now, lawyers have given, some sort of explanation to this, that yes, the court is enabled to give some sort of guidance, sort of its merit of some other grounds that were given. So is this what is playing out here? We'll try to reconnect established connection with Honorable Isa Ashiru, who is a PDP governorship candidate in that election in Kaduna State. But we'll go on a break now. And Let's begin to wind down on this conversation. And I'm still looking at the statement you put out yesterday. And you talked about, by the way, we reported the issues as they happened in the tribunal. And part of your statement said that the tribunal, based on the majority of 2-1 judges, upheld the preliminary objection of the respondent to the effect that the application for pre-hearing was done prematurely. So those were your words. And you went on to say that, well, the law enjoins the tribunal to proceed to pronounce on the merit of the substantive suit, so that in the event of a court of appeal finds that the trial tribunal was wrong in its decision on the preliminary objection, it will have the benefit of pronouncing on the decision of the tribunal in the substantive matter. So those were your words, and you painted the picture. You talked about the timing and the premature nature which the tribunal ruled on, and you talked about the substantive issue which the tribunal also gave its verdict on. For the people of Kaduna State who are not clear on what is going on, they've listened to the governor, now they're listening to you. They've listened to lawyers try to explain this, but there is the issue of governance at stake, the peace of your state at stake. And you've said that this is not about you, but the people. So speak to us, because the governor said that, well, there's a lot of propaganda going on right now. So speak to the people of Kaduna State. You said you're going on appeal. You also say you're preparing for a supplementary election. What will be your final words to the people of Kaduna State?
Well, as I did on my press release, I want to call on them to continue to be prayerful and remain law-abiding. We will continue, as we have started, to appeal, as I mentioned to you, to make sure that the mandate of our people is returned as per the election of February this year. I want to assure you that our people are law-abiding, and they will continue to be extra patient to make sure that we pursue the return of this mandate to its logical conclusion with all the options that are available, appeal and Supreme Court, depending. If we're lucky to get our seat at appeal level, then the Supreme Court will be left to the other side to decide whether to go or not to go. But inshallah, we'll get our mandate back.
Well, Honorable Ashiru, the PDP governorship candidate in Kaduna State, former lawmaker at the national and state level, thank you so much for speaking with us on Politics Today. And of course, we're following the developments. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Coyote. I'm very grateful for the opportunity.